Música.
Hello, I am Aisha.
And Paula, your cultural hybrid mental health therapist.
Here to explore unfiltered and heartfelt conversations on core issues
that affect us as human beings. Get ready for honest, captivating,
and real stories that take you on a journey to navigate your life
in the best possible way.
So grab a seat
and stay with us on this episode of Do We Have Your Attention? Welcome to the Do We Have Your Attention podcast. My name is Paula and my co-host is
Aisha. And today we're going to be introducing ourselves through a fun get to know me tag.
This is going to be so much fun. I honestly can't wait to start.
Well, before we get into it, let's do our feelings check-in. So let's check in with ourselves. So Paul, I'm going to use you as the example.
Okay.
So check in with yourself today. And we have a feelings chart. Hopefully we get to share on our social media accounts so people can get to understand what we're talking about. And so I'm just going to ask you, how do you feel today? How are you feeling? And as I'm asking Paula, I want the listeners to also check in with themselves. How are you feeling? What word resonates with how you feel today?
All right. So if I were to use the color chart, let's break it down a little bit so our listeners understand what we're talking about.
Okay.
Yellow is you're happy, you're positive, you're optimistic. Green is you're calm, you're wealthy, you're at peace. Blue is sadness, as we all know. Bored, possibly, who knows? Gray means you're anxious, you're worried, you're sort of gloomy. Then orange comes with confidence. You're feeling very creative, innovative. Red, angry, maybe passionate to some degree. Mad, frustrated. Pink, love, creativity. Purple, learning. Powerful, royal. So now breaking this all down, how am I feeling?
Yeah.
I think I am feeling a little bit of yellow and orange. So feeling happy, feeling positive. It's our first episode of this podcast that we've been working on this behind the scenes, as you know, Aisha. So
for
it's
a while.
Very exciting for a very long time. It's very exciting to be recording our first episode, but also a little bit of orange where there's like confidence in what we're doing. How about you? How are you feeling?
Well, first of all, thank you for sharing. I definitely am feeling a little bit of green. So like calm, peaceful. It's like really cloudy outside, so it's making me a little bit tired. But I'm also feeling orange, like confident, like innovative, like creative.
That's good.
So yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
Say it with your chest. I'm feeling orange.
I'm feeling orange and green. Okay.
All right. So each of us would pick from a number 1, so between numbers 1 and 20, and we would have to answer the question associated with the number. Answer honestly, be transparent. If you need clarification, if you need the meaning of the word, all of those things you can ask.
Fine.
Are you ready?
I am. So let's go. So I pick a number first.
Yes, you did.
All right. So I think I'll start with randomly number 5.
Okay. How did I know you were going to pick 5?
Oh my God. I didn't even know the question. I just randomly picked it.
No, it's like, I don't know if this is just me, but I feel as though we typically pick numbers like 1, 5, 10, 2, around those lines. Okay. All right. So number 5, what inspired you to pursue your current career or passion as well as your professional qualifications? It's a good question.
That is a good question. Oh my God, the answer is long. So let me try and summarize it. I think that I've always wanted to help people. I thought I was going to be a medical doctor, which is another conversation for another day. But, in exploring my options, I stumbled upon psychology and I was like, oh, this seems more fitted to me than medicine. And I think just because I always wanted to help people / understand human behavior, I've always been curious as to why people behave the way they do. And also like just been very curious about why I behaved the way I was behaving. I feel like growing up, I was always like, why are you even doing that? It's like, why are you engaging in this behavior? Or what is motivating you to want to do this or do that? So I think like I've always just been very curious. So like when I stumbled upon psychology, it was very easy for me to be like, this explains a lot, you know?
Yeah.
I think just that curiosity I had kind of inspired me to continue to pursue psychology. And the more I dived into psychology, the more I, was introduced to mental health. And the more I was introduced to mental health, the more I was like, and also going through my own mental health issues and having some deep experiences with mental health issues. I think it just made perfect sense. Like there was no, like somebody saved my life. So it was kind of, it just came natural to me. Like if someone could save my life through talking and just kind of navigating through things, like I could do that for somebody else. So I think that kind of motivated me to pursue this. And, the more I work as a mental health professional, the more I'm interested in certain areas like, trauma and mood disorders, because one thing I've learned is everything presents very differently for everybody. Like there's always something new to learn. And I think that would always kind of inspire me to, pursue professional qualifications that would help me understand what people are presenting with more. And that's just like a quick summary. I feel like that was very heavy.
No, thank you for sharing that. I think, it is heavy, but also it's interesting always hearing how people started pursuing the things that they call their career and their passion now. It's also nice to sort of hear you say, like, nah, this thing found me. It wasn't a situation where you were necessarily looking for psychology. It was one of those things where it sort of found you. Speaking of professional qualifications, Aisha,
yes,
what are your professional qualifications?
Well, I'm a licensed professional counselor, so put some respect on that. Not to brag, but bragging. And I feel like there's another thing that I'm forgetting, but
brag about yourself, as they say it.
I should, but I don't remember everything right now. Sorry, guys.
How did you become a licensed professional counselor? And what does that mean? Because I know what that means because I'm also a licensed professional counselor. But if somebody were listening, they may not exactly understand or know what that means.
Well, I became a licensed professional counselor because it just made sense to pursue it professionally because I knew I wanted to work in the mental health field as a professional. And these are one of kind of the requirements in, working with people that present with mental health issues. So it just was very natural for me to be like, all right, I'm going to pursue a license professionally. For example, like accounting, do the ACCA or EFA. So like for mental health professionals, this is like the license that shows that this person has all the knowledge that they should have professionally to help the people that they're supposed to help. So I think that's like an easy way to kind of break it down. So it's kind of having the license. And by the way, we had to write exams. You had to do like internship and like all these many, many hours to,
send our hours to the board, have supervision.
Exactly. So you have to go through like a whole process to get the license. But right now I'm licensed in the state of Pennsylvania, which is a state in America. So that is where I am able to work, basically.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. How are you feeling? You were able to answer the first question. There's more to go, but how are you feeling? Are you ready?
I feel like that. I feel like that question was heavy. It was a lot. I know me, I like talking, so I tried to summarize to the best I could.
Okay.
All right, you next. Pick a number.
I'm going to go with my lucky number 8.
Okay. This is a good question. Could you share a personal mantra or philosophy that you live by? Good. Love this question.
Well, that's hard.
Why? Tell us why it's hard.
Because I live, breathe mantras. It's hard to sort of narrow it down to one. Because I don't know what it is about mantras and quotes and just sayings that it gets me going. I'm inclined to share one of the one I have as one of my tattoos, because obviously that's something that meant so much to me that I was like, permanently tattoo on yourself.
Oh,
But it's it's from what's her name? Maya Angelou's poem. It's called "And Still I Rise." I only just picked that part of the poem "And Still I Rise" because I think resilience is it's a needed thing in humanity. Like if we don't have the power or ability to sort of get ourselves back up, we're going to be there for a long time.
Yeah.
And not saying that it's not easy, but more so just recognizing that as human beings, like we have the ability to still rise. Like I think I don't remember who used to say this, where they'll be like, see, if you hit the bottom, if you hit rock bottom, you can't go any further than that. So the only way you can go is up kind of situation.
Right.
So I'm like, you know what? And still I rise, rise above the BS. Rise above the trials.
Heavy
So I
on
would probably
that.
say that's probably one of my personal mantras for sure.
Thank you for sharing. I really like that. I think that the thing that resonated with what you shared was like we have the capability to always rise above whatever we go through. It's instilled in us, and we always have to kind of find that in ourselves. I'll keep that to myself now. That's a mantra I'm keeping to myself.
Okay. All right. What number is coming to mind for you right now?
Gosh, I feel like I'm gonna go with 10. Why are you laughing? What's 10?
5 plus 5 is what? 10. All right. Okay. On a serious note. Are there any travel destinations on your bucket list and why?
Oh,
that's
girl,
a good
yes. I like this question.
The girl loves her travel.
Yes, we love to travel over here. Honestly, I have a lot of places I want to travel to right now. But I would say like the place that's top on my list. What would be top on my list? For an easy question, this is somehow hard for me. This is I must stick with Jamaica for now because I haven't been to Jamaica and all my friends have been. And it just seems like such a fun place. There's the water. Oh, and Barbados. There's good food.
Yeah.
I love anywhere that has water. So like I would travel to anywhere as long as it has water and good food. And Jamaica and Barbados, those two places do it for me right now. So
that is a correct destination. I've been to Jamaica a few times and it has quickly become my favorite place. It's like water, food, and good music. What else do you want?
What else? Like you're just giving good vibes. Like everybody that has gone, I should be there right now.
Yeah, you should. But now it's expensive. But anyway,
don't worry. God will provide. Okay, pick your own next question.
Let's see. Since I'm not done like the 11s, 12, I'm going to say maybe 16.
Okay. Oh, this is a good one. I'm sorry. I feel like every
question is a good
every question I'm going to be like, this is a good question. Okay, so it's how do you balance work, family, and personal life?
That is a good question. It's also a very hard one. I'm just coming off a week of having conversations like this. Consistently having conversations about balance. I feel like that is on my mind. But honestly, this is just my own opinion. It's my personal opinion. I don't necessarily take it as fact or anything like that. I think everybody needs to have some type of system. Like I have a system. I can't really function if there's no structure, if there's no system. And I remember when I used to be younger where I would plan and have structure. Fair enough, I was quite rigid. So I was an excessive planner. I know those people where they're like, anxiety, we don't plan. So a lot of people be like, just live life a little, be spontaneous, Paula. What is wrong with you? Fair enough, I agree. But I also think for some reason, adulthood comes with you having some semblance of a system that works for you. You might, at one point, you might be on a 60% when it comes to work. Family might be a little bit of 20, might be a little bit of 40. Personal life might be a little bit of 10 at some season. Then at one point in time when, let's say, I'm just kind of struggling with my mental health, personal life has to become a priority, but not neglecting any of them. I feel as though like the system is going to vary. Unfortunately, I don't believe there is like a 50 here or 100% here. You put 100% there, you put 100%. Please, we're only human. We're not robots. Like that is not, at least for me, it doesn't work. But I think for me, I just really try as much as possible to acknowledge that I'm always doing the best I can in every area and not necessarily shaming myself or putting pressure on myself because maybe I'm not checking in as well as I should be checking in with friends or family, or I'm not practicing self-care as much. But I'll tell you this, so I am a self-care queen. I am a proud self-care queen. See,
Tell us
this is
what that means, Paula. What does being a
what I call the system, right? Tuesdays, I sort of just studied my days and how I would feel. And I noticed like Monday, because it's off of Sunday, I would be like, yeah, let's go, let's get this money. I would probably see 7, 8 clients straight in a day, and I would not necessarily be tired. But then Tuesday comes and I start my days as like early as 8 on Tuesdays. So I'm up maybe around 7 and I finish early, but it's like a quick day where you have to start early. So I realized that after like Tuesdays, I just decline. My energy just goes down. I don't want to do anything. So I started this whole thing where I'm like, okay, after that, I'm going to exercise. I'm going to get like a bubble bath, Epsom salt Tuesdays, as I call it now. And guess what? The system works. And it's almost like the motivation of, I'm going to be in the bubble bath. Nobody can disturb me. Oh, yeah, let me go to the gym. So I feel like I'm looking forward to it. So I think to some degree, like everyone needs to have some sort of structure and system, but it has to be unique to you as an individual. Like people are more active at night. Other people are more active during the day. Other people are more active very early in the morning. You can't really adopt anybody else's system if it doesn't work for you. That's how I balance. So at least I try.
Thank you for answering that. It seems like it's very focused on like being aware of yourself and like your needs and also understanding. I like how you were breaking down, like sometimes your family time would be 20%, your work would be 40%, and just kind of being realistic with yourself. Like it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
You're not giving 100% to all these different commitments that you have. Like you're a human being. And like Paula said, we are not robots. So
no.
Shout out to the self-care queen, Paula.
Thank you. All right. What are you thinking? What do you want your next question to be?
I'm going to do all the 5 plus 5, 10 plus 10. 10 plus 10 now, 20.
Okay. All right. Let's see what 20 says. Is there something about you that people might be surprised to learn? Oh, I love that question. Okay.
Oh, Lord. Can I stay a mysterious babe? Like,
You me, I'm here sipping my tea, waiting for the answer.
I want to stay mysterious. I feel like there's a lot of people who don't know about me. But the one thing, I don't even know if you know this about me, Paula.
Okay. Tell me more.
Is, Lord, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud, but I am a ASMR warrior. A lot of people don't know that.
What does that mean?
The ASMR, it's like, I forget the full thing. It's like something sensory response, but it's like some tingling.
Oh, I know what ASMR. What does ASMR warrior mean?
It's autonomous sensory meridian response.
Is that like?
Yes. So it's like, it's like a tingling sensation. Like, but for me, when I say I'm ASMR warrior, I listen to ASMR every day of my life, everywhere of my life. In the car, at the gym, writing notes to go to bed, just chilling. I'm listening to ASMR. It's scratching of hair and chewing gum. Yep. See, you didn't even know.
Scratching of hair and chewing gum.
Let me tell you, it's so relaxing. It's like tingling in my brain. It's like, I feel like everybody will find something they like with this ASMR sounds. But me, I've always liked when people chew gum. Like it makes me feel sleepy. You know, I like struggle with insomnia and all of that. And this has like helped me, at least it calms me down. Sometimes I may not like sleep, but it would help me feel relaxed. I love ASMR, and it has to be specific. The person
that is interesting.
And they have to be scratching someone's scalp.
That is very interesting. Now I feel like every time I just see you, I'm just going to be like, What's she doing?
I'm listening to ASMR.
Like, listen to
Let me
it.
tell you, at work, because sometimes I listen to it at work a lot. Like my coworkers will pass by and be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm listening to ASMR."
So help me out here. Is it something that sort of eases anxiety for you, stress?
It like my brain is loud. Like it's a lot of noise.
Mm.
Kind of helps reduce the noise for me.
Mm.
What's most frustrating about the way my brain works is like it doesn't work all the time. Like my brain gets used to the sound.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to keep finding new sound. Like I'll find one and I'm like, oh, this helped me. The next time I go, my brain is like, nope, it's still louder than the video I'm watching. So I always have to like find something, which is very frustrating, but it does calm me down. Like I'll be at the gym on the treadmill listening to ASMR. I'll be
Wow.
like, yeah, it's just very relaxing. I'll be
That
other people are
is
listening to music. I'm like listening.
that is so interesting. So it's relaxing.
It's
Would you say it's stimulating, or you're actually using it so you don't feel stimulated?
Yeah, I'm using it so I don't feel stimulated. It just kind of, the easiest way I would put it is lowers the noise in my brain. It's like I'm focusing on another noise, so I don't get to think about or pay more attention to how loud the voices in my head is.
Okay. All right. So anybody who's our listeners, anyone who's listening who is an ASMR warrior, this is your time to, what it says, like report to duty.
Yes,
show allegiance to
my
Aisha.
ASMR warriors. Come on, come out. Listen, people think it's weird, but anybody that has like slept on the same bed as me, like my friends, they're always looking at me like, girl.
I remember ASMR. Like I remember sleeping over and you're playing that, but not the hair scratching one. I think it was someone else eating food or something like that. Like
I used to, like I said, I graduated. So it used to be like people just like whispering. And then another one is like, I used to like when they clean like shoes or like bags. For some reason, I like scratching.
I'm going to do a deep dive tonight. I already know this is not going to work because my own brain functions a little different.
Well,
I know it's not going to work in the sense where I will probably be like all the 5,000 thoughts will come at the same time. But then there's this podcast called, I think Nothing Much Happens, where she reads like a story time in ASMR voice. And it's like the stories don't really make sense. It's not really about that. It'll just be like, what is your name today? And he asked me, my name is Paula. That makes me sleep off though. That's what
I'm saying. I feel like everybody will find a sound that works for them. My own is just a little bit louder to the normal human being, but my brain works differently. I need this.
All right. Thank you for sharing. That is an interesting fact. I love it.
Okay, should we do one more question for you?
Okay. All right, let's do.
So you pick a number, girl.
I'm going to go with 12.
Let's see what 12 is. Oh, wow. This one's kind of deep. Can you describe? Paula's face is killing me. Okay, let me be serious. Can you describe a challenging moment in your life and how you overcame it? That's a good question. I love that question.
Not deep questions. I was not trying to have deep questions.
Girl.
Okay. I'm seeing, don't feel sorry for me. I think we've all experienced this. I've had many challenging moments in my life. But I think that's also what makes me who I am. And I like who I am. I appreciate who I am. So we thank God for that. There's so many. I'm trying to think of one. And how did I overcome it? I would say probably one of the most recent ones I had a lot to do with my health. I've had a lot of just on and off health issues for, I don't even know, majority of my 20s. So I just use my 20s as like my memory to remember that. But I was in a car accident 2 years back.
I think it was like 2021.
Yeah, we're in 2024, excuse me. I was in a car accident 3 years ago. I was in a car accident towards the end of 2021. And sort of had ended up having like my disc, like a couple discs like come out. They come out but not fully out. So it was one of those things where they're like, you don't need to have surgery now, but you may have surgery. Unfortunately, the older you get, started having a lot of nerve pain down my legs, just having to adjust. So the challenging experience obviously was the pain in itself, but more so adjusting my life around that thing. So I noticed like little things like going to a concert. To go to a concert would be work, to the point where I've had times when I would just like either something I needed to do, I would just leave. I'm like, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
So of course, after a lot of physical therapy, a couple injections in my back and spine, I would say that it's even less of the physical rehabilitation and more of the mental. One thing I would say that I've really learned is that we are more capable of getting through things. That's back to that resilience thing, yeah? Mm-hmm. A lot more than we think we are. But to be honest, if we're not really tested, we don't really know our strengths. We don't really know our limits. We really don't know. So sometimes life sort of gives you these things for you to be able to actually see how strong you are, how resilient you are. And I'm so happy to say that I'm at a point where, yes, the pain is still there on and off. I've obviously adapted a lot better in the sense where I'm adjusting now. But it's more so I'm understanding my body and how it really responds to the pain. I'm understanding what triggers it too as well. And I'm so proud to say that I went to my first standing concert last year with my friend. And at the front, he was like, I want to be in the pit of the crowd and everything. I was like, ugh, fine. We went there and there's no space and my back starts to hurt. And normally in the past, I would have just left. Yeah. I'm like, well, we've been working through this. I really want to test my limits. I really want to test my mind. So I said, okay, you know what? I can't, yes, everybody's in front, everybody's doing their own thing. At the end of the day, I have to make it work for me, as opposed to just meeting the expectations as maybe other people who are a lot more physically able, so to speak. Yeah. So I just left and went to the entrance, the back of the whole concert. I started doing my PT exercises at the concert. I kid you not.
I'm screaming.
This 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, move to the next one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, breathe, stretch. And the crazy thing was, because of that, I allowed the pain calm down enough for me to actually enjoy the show. And then I looked and then I see all these dads of the kids coming back to do their PT exercises too as well.
We love
and just stretching their back. So I'm like, guess what? It wasn't just me. A lot of people are going through very similar issues too as well. So I would just say that that would be one example of a challenging moment in my life and how I overcame it. Stop trying to meet the expectations of other people. And to be honest, it's not even people that are even giving us those expectations. It's us that are putting that pressure on ourselves. So now I know every concert, just stand up, cannot really be bothered. Right. Do my PT exercise and enjoy the show that I paid for.
I love that. Do what works for you, even though your friend would have preferred you to be standing there with him, but you know, do what you had to do for your own health and to kind of help you enjoy the show as well. And it's great that it wasn't just you at the back there and other dads and parents were at the back too, doing their thing. I love that. Thank you for sharing.
Absolutely. How are you feeling so far about our questions?
I feel like these were great. I had so much fun and I didn't want this to end, to be honest.
Me too. I really enjoyed it.
More questions to go.
I really enjoyed it. Now at least I know that you are the ASMR warrior. I am going to be deep diving tonight. Get me some hair scratching, some gum chewing.
No, wait. You have to find your own sound. Let me just say this. You have to find your own sound because the scratching doesn't work for everybody. I'm just going to say a lot of people think it's noise, but to me, so you have to find your own. So just go in the ASMR world and you find your own sound.
Okay. So I'm going to add one more question. And this is I pulled this out of the bag, given that this is our premiere episode, our first episode, and Aisha mentioned already earlier that this is something that we both have been working towards for a long time, having discussions about it. When are we going to do this? I see us doing this. You see us doing it. And now we're finally here. What if you were to sort of describe what that feeling is? So it's a two-part question. What the feeling is of obviously finally being here and actually doing something that gives you fulfillment and passion, right? Which is talking about mental health, talking about humanity, the impact of mental health on humanity. What would that feeling be? And then what would you say to our listeners as well as to what they should be expecting in the episodes to come?
Paula.
You should have known that I would have done this.
I really should have. But the first one, I would say I'm going to be very honest. I do feel very excited. I feel like I'm entering the chapter of like fulfilling what I was born to do. So like it feels very exciting. It feels very natural, and it feels very, I think there's like some level of relaxation that comes with also knowing that I'm doing this with you, because we work well together as friends and as professionals. So like I just feel like I'm screaming, I'm like excited, like like when you're when you
go to the rooftops and you're like, ah.
Exactly. That's what it feels like. But there's the other side of me that I guess just like with any other human being, I have a level of like nervousness and like just it's starting this as being like Paula said, we've been working on this for a while. And I guess like some of the things that have crossed my mind, if I'm being honest, is like, do I want to do this? Like, do I want to put myself out there? Do I want like people to be in my head? And then I also have to remind myself, and Paula, thankfully, is always reminding me that we are professionals. We do know what we're talking about. We do know what we're doing. We do know, like, there's people that we work with every day and that we worked with in the past, like 5, 6, 7 years that we've helped. And like, just knowing that also like helps me feel less nervous. But that nervousness that comes with like starting anything is still there.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm at peace, and I also know that God is is working with us. So I will serve God in everything that we do, and you do too. So
well said.
Calm.
Well said. I feel like I need to even give a round of applause.
Oh, thanks, girl. Yeah, clap for me.
Well said. I definitely relate with you on that. And something that you said that I really just want to highlight too as well, because we are professionals, but we're also human beings as well. And we're people who have had our own individual, very unique experiences in life. And the essence of this podcast is to highlight the educational aspect of the work that we do, but also the human aspect of who we are as people that exist in this world. So there is going to be, unfortunately, there is going to be mistakes that are being made. There is going to be errors that are being made. A lot of what we bring here is not, it's organic conversation, and it's not necessarily with the intention of trying to hurt or offend anyone. And I think Aisha can agree with me too as well. I know you can agree with me that we are always open to just like room for learning, room for growing, room for getting effective, constructive feedback. But also with boundaries, because we understand that there's no pleasing any and everybody. That's not the essence of this. It's more so us just trying to live our own lives while trying to make at least an impact as well.
Yeah, thank you. That was a good summary of it too. And what was the second question?
The second question is, what do our listeners, like, what should they be looking forward to in the episodes to come?
Oh, listen. There's so much to look forward to, but I'll just make it simple. Like Paula has highlighted, just normal human conversations that are going to be educative, but also we would like to learn from everyone listening, and like the people that plan to support us. We would like to learn from everybody. But for the most part, just honest conversations from two professionals who live and experience different mental health issues every day. I mean, what else do you want to, like, what else should you look forward to? It's going to be also fun, and we're very silly, fun people.
Yes.
We are serious, but we play a lot. So
I try to be serious.
We are definitely very playful people. So very fun, but very educative and very insightful. And I also, like with what Paula has highlighted, I wanted to highlight that we would like, our listeners, I hope you're on the same page with me, but like people to also start moving into the realm of self-awareness and wanting that change for themselves and wanting to seek support, whatever that looks like, that is something that I think people should
absolutely
look forward to. Paula, do you want to share yours real quick?
Honestly, I think you said everything. Like you said everything I was feeling: excitement, nervousness, everything. So I am very much so inclined to agree with you that this is obviously a long time coming, but then it's something that I'm very excited about. I also feel at peace too as well. I would probably say that the one thing I'm obviously most excited about is us being able to actually just grow through this experience and then connect with our listeners too as well. When we get to that point where we're able to actually engage with people who are like, I want to be on this self-awareness journey and be on this this journey of sort of embracing humanity and understanding how it impacts our mental health. That would be really cool. So I'm looking forward to that.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And as much as I didn't want this to end, we have come to the end of our first episode. And just to let you know, next week we'll be diving into serious conversations and talking about therapy and the importance of mental health.
Yes. Trust me, you can't afford to miss it for anything. It's going to be very insightful and just expanding our understanding of why mental health is important. I don't know if we mentioned this, that we're going to be releasing 2 episodes a month. So we need to make sure that everyone who's engaging with us, y'all are excited for the next episode because you're not going to miss it. Hopefully you're not going to miss it. See me already going like you're speaking into existence. You're not going to miss it.
I missed it too. You're not going to miss it. And just so to end, we would love to hear from you. So please reach out to us through our Instagram. It is called DWHYA Podcast on Instagram, like I said. And if you want to send us emails and reach out and just, connect with us, you could reach out to us at dwhyapodcast.com.
Yes, and we honestly can't wait to grab your attention in the next episode. Until then, we are signing out.